Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. It's time for the Dudes in Blue on this Monday night. It's episode number 123. Thank you guys for joining us, as always. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me over there,
Antonino, what is up, everybody?
dude, what's happening, man?
Not a damn thing, sir. More of the same, just like last week.
You ready to do this again?
Do we have to?
I don't think we have a choice.
Let's just feed in last week, and then you know.
Yeah. If you guys are just if you guys are just tuning in, it's the same thing as last week. The Thursday, and then the Monday, and then the Monday before that. It's just been. I feel like it's like Groundhog Day, dude. Like this is really it's like over and over and over and over again. But anyway, we appreciate you guys joining us for this episode. If you're watching on Facebook Live, let us know where you're watching from, and make sure to share this broadcast with your friends. And we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Dudes in Blue. We always put out a lot of content. We try to put out as much as we possibly can, especially as of late because, well, the team has been sucking. So we have to step it up to apologize on their behalf. We're going to talk about the NYCFC versus DC United match where DC came to town, and we took away a point from that one. That was brings us now to one win out of our last 8, I believe, which is pretty awful. Let me say hi to some of the comments, dude, and then we'll get into the chatter. What do you say?
Who's here?
Well, Lalo is here as usual. Joey, what's going on? David, Jason, what's happening, everybody? Christian Smith says that he doesn't have enough emojis to express his disappointment. Chris Martinez coming in from Philly. What's happening? And Stephen Berg is tuning in as well. Thank you guys for spending time with us. We do appreciate it. And Uncle Dom is coming to us from Naples, Florida.
There you go.
There you go.
Never takes a day off. Even when he's on vacation, taking his days off.
There you go. All right, as him and I both take a sip. What's going on, Kuzi? What's up, man? Good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. Okay, dude. I'm gonna read some stuff.
Read away.
And then we're gonna maybe chat about it. Does that sound fair?
Whatever you like to do, sir.
Okay. Well, as this page loads here. Okay, here we go. 31 shots to 2. 9 shots on target to 1. Let's see. 12 corners to none. 46 crosses to 3. 85% passing accuracy to their 59%. 68.9% possession to 31%. And yet we walk away with a single point at home to DC United. Dude, I'm going to say that's pretty bad.
I have no words for this game. Just more of the same. And when you think once is enough from, the Wednesday game prior, nope. Let's just get another 30 shots on goal.
They're nothing if but consistent.
Yeah, I guess if you want to put it that way. Again, it's not lack of effort because you cannot put 30 shots on goal without giving effort.
30 shots.
30 shots, right? Not on goal. 30 shots on goal, I'm sure we would have scored a couple more goals.
Listen.
Or Bill Hamid would have been out of his mind.
Yeah.
It's just the finishing is not there. And we run into this problem every summer going into the fall. It seems the same thing happens. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're running out of gas, which is probably not an excuse because I know the schedule is crammed now, but you do have huge pockets of weeks off at a time where, it's not an excuse. Everybody's got to play these games. So I don't understand why the finishing is not there, especially with some of the scoring chances we have that are grade A opportunities.
Yeah, that's listen, I think we should probably start with talking a little bit about Bill Hamid because Bill Hamid was pretty much standing on his head that entire match. I mean, he picked up 8 saves, which was absolutely ridiculous. So, granted, some of those shots were right at him, but dude, he made some pretty badass saves. A couple on Matarrita. He stopped a laser beam from Amagat. Look, he had a hell of a game. He had an absolute hell of a game.
Cannot take away. You can't take that away from them at all. I mean, he really had himself a game, and he's a really good keeper. And And this is what you see. Sometimes sometimes the record or the scores don't reflect, a good keeper. It's just sometimes the players in front of you, but when you can do what you can to stop the chances like he did, you're gonna steal points or not give up three.
Russell on Facebook is saying we need quality, not quantity. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because a couple of weeks ago when we played against Columbus was the team that had the quantity, maybe not necessarily the quality, but they came away with the win. And I want to say they put up like 20-something shots, not all on target, obviously, but they have no problem putting up the quantity. We have scoring opportunities, and I agree with you. The quality needs to be better, but why can't you have both?
No, you can. You totally can.
Right? That's my question,
can.
right? Like, why can't we put quality opportunities? Because, dude, let's be honest here. You don't put 46 crosses in the box without creating some sort of an opportunity. The finishing quality needs to be there. Alexander Collins missed almost an open net. You had Ibeagha that's putting shots over the bar. The quality that needs to result from the quantity is just not there.
Yeah, exactly. You would figure that out of 30 shots, you'd figure at least 10 have to be on goal. You want to keep it around there. I would be happy with that. And of those 10 on goal, you would think a lot more would go in. Just doesn't happen that way when you don't have the quality. The finishing is just not. It's almost non-existent right now. Listen, we had to score a miracle goal on a free kick, and if that didn't happen, who knows what the game would have ended like. So it's just it seems so simple, and yet it's just so far away. And again, it could be compiled because you ran into a keeper who had a really good game. You're playing a team that usually likes to collapse down and play a lot of defense and then try to play the counter. It's a whole lot of different things. But again, for all those people saying that it's not the effort and they don't want it, it's not that they don't want it. It's just that the quality is not there. And it's very easy. It's very easy to fall into a trap in your head where, listen, all it could take is the first 3 shots on goal to be, or the first 3 shots to be wide. And all of a sudden the team's in the mindset again of, oh boy, here we go. We're going to do it again. And then all of a sudden the game gets away from you, and it gets away from you very, very quickly a lot of the times. So it's just, I don't know how you practice finishing. I mean, you practice it every day, every single day. I just don't know what you can do differently to get it. I think this team just needs to come out and whip someone's ass to get back on track.
I'd like to pull up the schedule, dude, because I'd like to pull up the schedule because you've got a point in that because, dude, I don't remember the last game where we completely obliterated a team both in performance and the scoreline, right? Because if you ask me, dude, against DC and against New England, New York City FC dominated the game. They dominated the game, especially against DC. Mm-hmm. When, I think the 2 shots that DC actually got off were the only 2 opportunities that they had in our own third. So, we had them pinned back so much. And listen, that's kind of how DC plays. They like to play on the counter, right?
But not that much.
Like I was able to talk with Ben Olsen after the game, DC United's coach, and I wish I had it on video, dude, because I don't have it. But that wasn't the game plan. That was not the game plan. Okay, to defend that much.
The third Olsen twin said it's not the game plan. It's part of their game plan, but not that much, obviously.
Not for 90 minutes. Like, nobody can sit back and defend for 90 minutes.
You cannot just park the bus out of the you should not just park the bus right out of the gate.
But going back to what we were talking about, dude, I don't remember I don't remember the last dominating performance. I mean, like,
should we look it up? Shall we look it up?
I'm pulling up Who Scored as we speak here. Chris Martinez is saying last season Villa would have made those goals.
It's not just him. And again,
that's the thing. It's not just him.
Look what the team did again. Towards the latter end of the match, all the ball went to was David Villa. everybody tried to find Villa. And granted, he did what he had to do, and he took his chances, and he had some opportunities, but other people have to step up. And for a good portion of that game, Matarrita was our best offensive weapon. That should not be the case, ever. Again, he's good. He has offensive tendencies, which make him good, but do you necessarily want to keep starting a guy, out of position constantly, when you don't have to? And again, you kind of have to because of the injuries and the international call-ups and things like that, but, who knows? Listen, if Tajuri Schreier is on the field, is that game different? Is the scoreline different? Because he seems to be the only one who doesn't have a problem finishing his chances. Like, ever.
Wait, who?
Shradi.
Well, and that's the thing, and some of the comments were coming through, dude. Kuzi was saying that he can't wait till Tajuri and Bergen are back in the team, and somebody else was saying it as well earlier in the comments. But again, dude, look, we had him.
Your team can't fall apart. Your team can't fall apart because two guys are missing.
But it's not, dude, because they were falling apart with him on the field.
Sure, absolutely.
Listen, there've only been 2 matches where international duty has come into play, and these are the last 2, against DC and against New England. Well, how do you explain the other 6 matches that we only got one win out of?
Yeah.
When Shradi was able to play.
This is true. This is very true. It's a weird combination. This season's been I think this team's best stretch of games was where Villa was out and they had the same lineup for a good 3
Pretty
weeks.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
That was the and I think once Domè got here, I think his tinkering, I understand it. But I don't think anyone's had the chance to really gel at this point because there are so many rotations on the field out of, 1, experimentation, and 2, out of necessity at this point. So if you're trying to right the ship, I'm thinking if you're trying to right the ship, would that game have turned out differently with the other pieces of the puzzle there?
Dude,
who knows?
It's so hard to speculate on that because again, we had 6 matches where we had more players fit and we still faltered. It wasn't like we were dominating before these guys went out and now all of a sudden magically we're terrible. This has been NYCFC's recipe at the end of the season every single year. And as we're talking, I'm gonna pull up last season, dude. I'm gonna pull up last season's schedule.
I don't want to eat whatever recipe whatever entree this recipe.
It's making me sick, dude.
I eat it.
It's making me sick.
It's food poisoning.
It's making me sick. Joey on Facebook is asking, what position is Morales supposed to be playing? Watching him play under Domè is so confusing. He is all over the place. Well, ask him.
Beats the hell out of me. I think he's far better suited in the middle of the field, spraying it out. But again, when you're missing so many people and you're kind of forced to do different things and give things a different look, they're gonna roam. They're gonna roam, like wild animals in the in the fields. They just go wherever they please. I don't know. I don't like it all the time. I prefer that if you're gonna give people the freedom to roam, make them roam in the final third and not the rest of the pitch. Keep the midfielders central and steady. And let the forwards do what they want to do and create their own space. But at this point, I think it's just a necessity thing. I don't think you're going to see him up there much longer. I think once everybody gets back, now that we have a little bit of time, you'll see a different look. But again, it is frustrating when you're trying to make a target guy who's 4 feet tall. And then the crossing game, I like the crossing game, believe me, but when it's not working 47 times, you got to kind of do things a little bit differently, and you got to be able to rely on the balls on the ground too. It's not just the balls over top. This team has been falling in love with the ball in the air recently. Just keep it on the ground. Try to keep it on the ground and try to work it that way because it's just as dangerous, and in certain occasions, it's even more threatening. So there's just so many different things. This recipe is just disaster. It is totally for disaster, and I think everybody needs to shut down. They got to get a couple people back healthy and ready to go and get everybody on the same page and just try to pick something solid, pick something consistent and kind of work with that moving forward and just honestly try to get on a roll. Again, at this point, I don't want to say results don't matter, but I think your form matters. And I think, honestly, if you play the last 5 games of the season this way with your dominating performances, I think going into the playoffs you'll be fine as long as the finishing shows up. If the finishing shows up and you end up tying games or losing games, you know what? It is what it is.
Goals. We need goals. Right?
You need to be
goals are what we need, right? It's you know, it sounds like John Madden here, but you know, the team that scores more goals they're probably going to win. It's true. I'm looking at 2017 schedule here, guys. I'm looking at the schedule from last year. From August 25th until October 22nd, so almost a 2-month span, we could not score more than a goal a game. There was not one game between August 25th, which was at Red Bull where we picked up the draw. There was not one game until October 22nd, the game at Citi Field, where NYCFC scored more than 1 goal in a game. We had the same conversation last year, dude, where we hit this patch of the season and they cannot find the back of the net. Is it fatigue? Is it exhaustion? Is it new coach? Is it everything? It's just, why is history repeating itself when most, if not all of the pieces have changed?
We have this thing at work. It's called the old Swiss cheese model. And you know, obviously Swiss cheese has holes in it. And, sometimes if you line it up correctly, all those holes line up and mistakes can get through. In this instance, you've got a Swiss cheese model where everything has lined up for us and everything that can go wrong is going right through those holes. Injuries, call-ups, scheduling, new coach, all that stuff is kind of adding into it. It's just weird that it's happening the same exact time as last season. It's so weird to me how it happens like that. And the good news is that it can be fixed. Listen, if the team scored 3 goals or scored 2 goals Wednesday and 2 goals, you know, Saturday night, is our tune changed? Are we like, oh my God, we just dominated 2 games?
Dude, we need a freaking win. That's what's going to get my tune to change is not even just 1 win, but a couple of wins. We got to string a couple of wins together.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think a win is going to. A win might set us up in the right direction. I don't think a win is going to change my mind.
You need multiple. You need multiple results straight.
That's fine. I need a game that's not like these two. I need a game where you're dominating and you score more than 2 goals.
Would you say they're dominating?
Very nice. Very
nice.
Like
that? You see what I did there?
I see it. It just, for me, honestly, if they win a game 1-0, doing the same thing, taking 30 shots, you're not convincing me of anything. Yeah, your defense bailed you out. Sean Johnson probably bailed you out. But I got to see something a little bit different. I need to see that last piece of the puzzle being attached and show me a full, clear picture. And if I get another game like this, and even if we win, I'm not going to be pleased. I think you need to see something a little bit more. Now, again, that win could lead to a win after that with my 2 goals, which is fine. Again, I'm not going to discount wins here. And I know Tinnerholm said I'd rather win ugly than, get a point and be dominating. Well, guess what, dude? When you get to the playoffs or you're going into the playoffs, sometimes, winning ugly is not going to help you. Winning these last 5 games ugly is not going to help us because eventually your luck is going to run out and you're going to come up against a team that's going to have your number, that's going to know what to do, and your sloppy play is going to expose you. You're playing behind the facade. Like a lot of games last year, a lot of those games that we won, we could have easily lost had the tides been turned, had certain things happen, and they didn't. I understand that, but it's easy to say if you give up 6 scoring opportunities and 2 hit the post and Sean Johnson makes crazy saves on the other ones, you're still not playing well, even you win. You still have to correct those things. You can't play poorly, win, and then hope that form's going to change. You have to change the form at this point, regardless of the results, because you need that hot streak going in. You need to figure out what you're doing. You need to have a consistent basis, and you have to take that and move forward. Whether you're playing a playing game, road game, home game, it doesn't make a difference. You have to have that form in place in order to give yourself a chance. If you're playing sloppy and you win the last 3 games, I'm not confident going in that sloppiness is going to equal another playoff win. I think that sloppiness is going to turn into a loss in the playoffs, and that's going to end the season.
Let's get to a couple comments, dude, here on Facebook.
Do it.
Russell says
I'm tired of being right.
A blowout win will start. It's like we were just talking about. Yes, that would be a start. It's a start. We need to start stringing results together the way that we're stringing non-results together, right? I want to say, saying hello to Miguelito, who says he's new here. What's going on? Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Lalo is saying Villa couldn't even stand after the game, and it was really concerning. Speaking on the exhaustion of the players, because Jorge earlier said, if you notice, the players are always exhausted and on the floor after 90 minutes.
You got to look at it because they're taking 30 shots a game.
That's it.
If you cut down 10 shots and put 3...
I think
if
I
you
lost.
Cut that,
there he is.
3 of the other ones and put them quality on goal, you don't have to worry about it.
Right. Tommy on Facebook is saying, I can't wait till we get 100% of our squad back. Neither can we. That is for damn sure. Tommy's also asking, what do you guys think about Ibeagha and Castellanos so far? I mean, I'm not sold 100% on either one of them. I mean, Ibeagha did rip a pretty nasty shot on Hamid on Saturday night, but, who didn't that game?
He also fouled Wayne Rooney and gave up the free kick that they scored a goal on.
Yeah. So again, I'm not entirely sold. I think Lewis for Tati 100%. We're beating a dead horse here, Tommy, honestly, but
listen here, I think Ibeagha was one of Domè's boys, and I think he was a purely depth signing where it should have been do not break glass case unless it's an emergency. And I think with all the injuries and the suspensions and things like that, I think you had to break the glass case. I don't necessarily think you should have used him all these times.
He lost the hammer.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see him helping at this point in time. I think it's just a little too late in the season for him to come on and make a difference. I think he might be like Struna of last year, except not as good.
Or young.
And Tati, I don't have a problem with Tati. I think Tati needs a little bit more confidence. I think he needs to stop
dribbling,
stop drifting, and stop dribbling, and
shoot.
Just don't be afraid to take a shot. Nobody's gonna get mad at you for taking a shot. Especially if you put it on goal.
He did. He actually did. He did this game. He did the opposite of what he did on Wednesday night against
Hamid
New
made
England here.
Hamid made a good save on his shot, right?
What's that?
Hamid made a good save on him.
He blasted it. He blasted it from inside the 18. Dante on Facebook is asking, and this is maybe a simple question, dude. Are you happy with the result?
No.
I am 100% not happy with the result. I'm not happy with the last. And listen, even including the game that we did win against Toronto, I'm not happy with the last 8 results because even that game we sucked. So I'm not happy with. I'm not going to be happy with this team, dude, unless we start to see 2-3 wins straight. I'm sorry.
The one result I was happy with and not flabbergasted by was the Red Bull game. I think that game, under those particular circumstances,
we should have won that game.
Could have, but again, I'm happy not losing that game because that game had loss written all over it. But other than that, even the games we've won, I'm not happy with. And again, I'm
You mean the game we've won? The game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not just watching this team. Even when they win games, they can drive you nuts. Very seldom do they string together 3 or 4 dominating performances where it's like, oh my God, these guys are incredible. Like, you don't get Atlanta-like runs from this team. You get games where they'll win 3-0, but you watch the replay and you're like, damn, this game could have been 5-3, and we could have lost.
Listen, dude, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. It could be Toronto.
It very well. Very well. I mean, listen, if you're going to tell me I won a championship last year, okay, that's fine. I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
I'll deal with being bad after winning a championship.
Dude, real quick, just a couple more comments here because I've been seeing a couple of these. Joey on Facebook. Shout out to James Sands and David Villa for getting MLS Team of the Week.
Yes, yes, James Sands, big one.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were gonna see Sands for 90 minutes on Saturday.
I did too. I prefer Ibeagha be, Walker.
They put up Ibeagha's number first.
They did, and then they switched it. I don't know what happened there.
But James Sands has been playing. He's been phenomenal. He really has been.
I think that he is a player that you will see regularly play. If Janhel's gone next year, which it should be the case, I don't necessarily think you have a problem playing Sands in that role next to Alex Ring. If that part of the roster stays the same. I think those two side by side will do a world of good, playing off each other, learning how to play. Listen, if James can learn from Alex, and he can end up playing that way after he gets a little bit of meat on him, and he's in his early 20s down the road, the kid can be a stud. Right now he's young, he's very thin, but he looks like he's been playing for us for years. Mm-hmm. He hasn't missed a beat, and that's a product of training with the first team, and now all it comes down to now is getting minutes. So if you can get an NYCFC 2 team, or if you can loan him out again and let him play and get his legs going, I think this loan to Louisville helped him a lot.
I spoke to him about that. I spoke to him about that after the game on Saturday. I have the video, but I didn't edit it to put it up on here. But I will do that, guys. Keep it locked to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page, because I will get the James Sands video talking about Louisville, because that transition for him, according to him, was great. It was fantastic being able to get minutes there, and it was for him. He said it was a very seamless transition coming back in, just because of the time that he was able to actually spend on the pitch for Louisville. But I promise I will put that up for sure. That'd be a good one. So thanks for bringing that up, dude. Do we want to talk about the goal that we gave up? Obviously, David Villa scored an absolutely insane free kick goal. It's been all over the place. We've got, listen, David Villa scoring on a free kick. We've taken almost 60 shots in the last 2 matches. Only one of them has gone in, and it wasn't even from the run of play.
I just figured it out. So now we can only, if you're going to play crosses and things like that and take 30 shots, make sure the defense is stationary.
That's right. And make sure the ball's not moving. Just make sure the ball's not moving.
Oh man.
So let's chat about the goal that they gave up. And I'm gonna roll to, we actually spoke to Sebastian Ibeagha after the match and flat out asked him about the goal that they gave up. Let me play the tape here, dude.
I think it's just one of those one-off mistakes. I don't think there's anything to necessarily fix. Ball was kind of floated in. Sean called for it. I think we kind of all stopped when we're supposed to at least help him block a player so he can get an easier run on the ball. But everyone just kind of stopped and just watched it happen. So, it's not really anything that needs to be fixed. It's just kind of one of those one-off mistakes.
A one-off mistake, says Sebastian Ibeagha, but one that wound up costing NYCFC points at home. He said that Sean Johnson called for it, dude, and then they all just stopped marking up the man.
Yeah.
Joey's saying that Johnson needs to be more aggressive on that, and I don't know if I can 100% blame Johnson on that. Birnbaum did make a great play. Don't discredit that.
The pass from Rooney and the timing of the run was impeccable, because it's so easy to get called offsides on that. Does the defense need to do a better job of getting in the way? Absolutely. But once the keeper makes the call, you've got to make sure 100% that you're going to go out and get rid of the ball or catch it. I think he got caught a little bit in no man's land, which happens to everybody in every position. It happens all the time.
But the one chance, man. The one opportunity.
This is the problem. You can have these one-off mistakes when you're playing well. when you're not able to put the ball in the back of the net, a one-off mistake could be the difference between you and winning, losing, or dropping points. And that's, I think, where we have more of an issue. If if we won the last 3 games and we're okay, and we tied this game, we really wanted it, you look at this a little bit differently. But you can't beat up the keeper. Guy's been so solid all year long. I really can't remember too many goals being a direct result of him being out of position or things like that. It's just it happens, and it's unfortunate that it happens during this string of play that we're having versus a better string of play. But again, you call for it like any other sport. You better catch it.
Right. So, it is what it is. It's just unfortunate that with such a dominating performance that we had, the one shot that they're able to put on target finds the back of the net. And you could blame Sean Johnson. You could blame, listen, yes, everybody, they're all asking, dude, was it a penalty that David Villa drew before, that led up to that free kick?
Well, there's that. There was another one. There was another one where Tati got his head on the ball, and they called a foul on Tati, and he was clearly pushed in the back.
Dude, listen.
We're sitting right there. It's just the lack of. If you're gonna implement the video assisted refereeing, use it. We don't have a problem with it at this point. Use it and at least look at it, and then tell me that you made a clear, conscious effort. That it worked, and they took a quick free kick on that play, if I'm not mistaken, to make sure that the ball went back into play, so they couldn't stop the clock.
Here's the thing, dude. I am not going to get too hung up on the referees and VAR right now.
Suck. Because they always suck.
Because we know that, right? These are facts. The facts are pro referees are horrible. They don't use VAR as frequently as they should, right? And replays show that they should be using it a lot more than they are. This is not news. It's not news, right?
Nope.
What is news is that NYCFC, despite all of that, despite not getting calls going in their favor, despite all of that, they're still able to take 30-something shots and not find the back of the net. I have more of an issue with that than I do with referees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's I don't know. I think
arguing a moot point at this point.
Ooh, that's good. Dude, we got to move on here. We got to move ahead because I feel like we're just again, dude. This is like Groundhog Day. It's unbelievable. Who was the dude of the match for NYC versus DC? Guys in the comments, start putting in your answers and let's deliberate here, dude, on who is going to take this. To answer Dante's question really quick on Facebook. What do you use for a split screen like Skype? We use a couple of different programs, actually, from my computer, Dante. Skype is certainly one of them, but we also use Ecamm, which is also that as well. But anyway, Tommy is saying David Villa, and so is Jorge. Dude?
On sheer effort, David, but I think without Bill Hamid in goal, I think we actually tear this game up. I think we probably win 3-1, or maybe even 4. So for me, it's a toss up between those two, and then I guess, if whoever's got more between those two in the comments, I think gets it. But for me, they're both even. I think without Hamid, that team pretty much just invited a barrage of assault, and it just didn't pan out because Bill Hamid is a very good keeper.
Dude, what in your words, what constitutes dude of the match? What does a player need to do to have this honor bestowed upon them week in and week out?
Well, like we said, you cannot be doing once you set a standard for yourself, your standard of play, you can't win it every week because it's just not fair. You have to be somebody has to do something out of the ordinary, has to be outstanding. So again,
but that impacts the result of the match.
This is true, yeah. So they both, in this case, both guys definitely impacted the result of the match. I just think that Bill Hamid did it 4 more times. And then
7 more times.
Well, I mean, we'll discount the ones that were hit directly at him.
So everybody, for the most part, dude, is saying David Villa.
Listen, I go either way. We didn't lose, so I'm not just gonna give it to.
I'm very reluctant, dude. I'm reluctant to give it to David Villa because I don't know, man.
Listen, Bill Hamid still got a hand on that free kick.
He did.
He couldn't stop. He couldn't have stopped it. So again, I will go. I will leave this to those fine folks in the comments because I can be tipped either way here.
Well, then it's got to go to David Villa. We're just going to give it to David Villa, even though Bill Hamid, in my opinion, dude, Bill Hamid's going to get it because without him in goal, this game is 4 or 5-1 NYCFC. That's my opinion. But let's go with what the people say. We got a couple of nods for James Sands, but I just don't think Sam's contributed enough to get the result that we wound up getting. So David Villa, congratulations, you get due to the match. Here's a trophy that doesn't matter because the points don't matter because we didn't get points. Just one.
Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it anyway? All right, dude. Moving on. We're coming up on the 37th minute here, dude. One of the comments earlier was I'm going to try to find it here. Joey brought up the Tinnerholm quote. Saying that basically like his philosophy on the way that the outcome of the match didn't quite jive with what Domè said literally minutes earlier, right? Do you think that this is causing some discourse in the locker room at all, or like a mental divide, like Joey is saying on Facebook?
No, I think sometimes more the lineup choices would cause more of a discord than this. I think this is just, you gotta remember, you have a coach whose first language is not English, and he does not speak English particularly well. Pine cones, pineapples thing. It's not, things don't always translate the same way. And again, it's hard for certain people to process that. So for me, again, like I said in the beginning of the show, like this team played well, is that just did not play well enough. So I can understand, like, listen, I'm going to applaud them for giving effort, but there still needs to be a little extra there. You're not getting a free pass. And, I would think, you should be happy with the coach giving you praise at your effort, but reminding you that you still need to be better. But I think Tinnerholm is it's a player. Yeah, you'd rather win. You should always rather win. But again, you have to kind of take a step back, and in the heat of the moment, it's okay to think that way. But if you step back and you play your entire first half of the season winning sloppy games, you should expect this to happen at the end of the season. It's just the way it goes.
I just want to get to a comment here. Christian on Facebook says, I think it's just frustration. The team and fans are annoyed with the poor results, and the fact that it's pine cones and no longer pineapples doesn't help as well.
You know what? This year at my Christmas tree, I'm going to remove all the pine cones and put pineapples in and see what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. See what happens. I think they have to be careful here, dude, because I think that a coach like this can cause some division amongst players, can cause some attitude issues, especially when a guy like Tati comes in and immediately gets the start, literally right when he gets there. And there's players like Jonathan Lewis who are begging to see a start, and Rodney Wallace getting starts over him, and it's just I could see where this could happen. And then of course these quotes can be taken and construed to make you think that there is issues among players and coaching staff. But again, I think we really need to see what happens when this team is back to full strength and to full lineup, because that to me is going to be, like we mentioned on I think it was Thursday night. That's going to be the real measuring stick for Domè and this team when NYCFC is all together, has every firing on all cylinders and really playing the way that they should be. Because again, we've been depleted on depleted on injury. We've been depleted on suspensions. We've been depleted on international duties. So I'm still waiting for that full team to come up. I'm not going to say that the team is, starting a mutiny here yet, but I certainly think that it's possible, but I don't think that that's the case right now.
Listen, I mean, you're talking about a guy who got 9 points out of the first week he was here, which is no easy feat by any stretch. I think since that point in time, you've had a lot of things happen.
I have to put a comment up, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. But this is a pretty funny comment, at least to me. If anybody else thinks it's funny, please throw this guy some likes. Jorge is saying, any chance we could do a reverse wave and close the portal of losses? We've entered into like a bizarro world of after the way I'm crying. That's hysterical.
I can just picture it now, like the vortex just opened up over the field, and all of a sudden everything's getting sucked in.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh my God, it's like making me cry. That's amazing.
Sounds like a great move.
Oh, that's really funny.
Really funny. It's like Space Jam Part 2.
That's right. Another comment here on Facebook, dude. Joe Tollison brought up a decent point. Other than he's not in the broadcast, but this is Christian bringing up Joe Tollison.
Joe was here.
Joe Tollison brought up a decent point. Other than Jonathan Lewis, who else on the team can make a significant impact off the bench? The key word I think here, dude, is significant, which is it is a good point there, Joey. It is a good point because I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Let me just go down from this game alone and see who didn't play.
Stoyer.
Bedoya, Awuah, Scally.
Nope, and nope.
And Stoyer, yeah. Listen, out of those guys, I mean, Awuah's kind of like a regular run-of-the-mill midfielder. I don't think he's going to give you too much. Scally might give you the energy. I don't think he's going to give you... Yeah, exactly.
We don't know. We haven't seen Bedoya.
I tell you what, I would have preferred to see Bedoya start that game to see what he's got, because if you're impressing somebody from a scrimmage and training to be able to get signed and called up, use him. Try him out. Let's see what he's got. I mean, he's been here for freaking 3 weeks already.
Well, he's the only thing that we haven't tried.
Again, I would much rather try the young guy over the guy who needs a walker to get on the field.
I don't know.
Listen, the lineup choices I'm not always okay with.
But dude, half of our team is either hurt, suspended, or away on international duty.
Yeah,
what are we supposed to do?
I still this game I would have started Bedoya over
Amagat.
Over Amagat. I will start anybody over Amagat at this point.
Get Mandan.
Yeah, that mustache is killer, by the way.
It's badass.
No, I don't. I think the greatest part out of Saturday night's game was when my brother yelled out, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Michael Scott said that, and obviously that's funny in its own. What was hilarious was how many people got the reference.
Actually laughed, yeah.
And actually laughed. That made me laugh harder than the actual quote. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
Well, dude, actually in this case, we miss 99% of the shots that we do take. So that's
and the dudes in blue said that.
You can quote us on that. Okay, Christian is trying to get us to say this hashtag. Hashtag we got the wrong guy. Are you happy, Christian? He's probably commented it at least 5 times in the broadcast.
Got the wrong guy.
We got the wrong guy. Yes, we did, dude. Yes, we did.
Like if he was any worse, I would get a jersey that said Irma Gerd on the back when he played. Like he's playing Irma
Gerd. I don't know, dude. I said, it's like I said on Saturday night. You got to laugh to keep from crying, dude.
Oh yeah.
You really got to. Dude, listen, we're approaching stoppage time here within the next few seconds, and there's one more thing I want to discuss, which oddly enough, somebody just brought up in the Facebook comments. What?
FIFA 19?
No, but we will do. Dude, I thought about. I legitimately had a thought today before we get to our last point because we have 10 seconds.
One?
I had a legitimate thought, just one, because I'm only good for one a day. A Ultimate Team podcast. A FIFA Ultimate Team podcast. There's fantasy football podcasts. There's sports betting podcasts. Why is there no FIFA Ultimate Team podcast? And as a matter of fact, I did look it up, and yeah, there are a couple, but very few. Very few. Not a lot of people talking about foot. So anyway.
Well, if we had more time, I would totally do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, here's the last thing that I want to get to here, dude, because we've officially crossed over into stoppage time, and I don't know how to spell it. Dude, here is Lalo's comment. There was something going on about Lewis having a poor attitude and not wearing the team suit after the game, which I thought was just ridiculous.
Oh my god!
He wasn't the only one, from what I heard, that left without the suit on. Lewis has some serious haters.
I love everyone. Okay, set everybody straight, please, because you were there.
Can I just put this to bed? Can I put this to bed?
Put it. Tuck it in.
Okay. I was in the locker room. Everybody was getting dressed. Everybody was putting their suits on. The fancy $1,500 suits that all the teams got, that all the players got. Lewis did not have one on. I was waiting to ask Lewis a few questions when a NYCFC rep tried to get Lewis to leave. He was in a hurry. The reason was because Lewis had an appearance to make. Lewis had a fan appearance to make right outside the press elevator, right near Gate 4. He was by himself, wearing traditional NYCFC gear, signing autographs for a line of people. Don't know who they were. I honestly have no idea. But the point is that Lewis asked the rep about the suit, said something to the effect of, "What about the suit?" The rep from NYCFC said, "Leave it." So now, under some kind of contractual agreement that I might have completely wrong, I was talking about this with Mike from Blue City Radio. The team, I believe, is contracted to wear them in, but not contracted to wear them out. So that being said, no, Lewis did nothing wrong by not having the suit on. No, I don't believe it was an act of defiance. Whether or not he was being a douche, I really cannot speak to that. All I can speak to is there was an exchange between him and a rep from NYCFC. There was talk about the suits, and he did not need to wear it. So, can we move on from this tabloid news and let's stop tweeting about it?
Let me just help everybody out here. There has been a string of appearances, not send-offs. Send-offs are something different. These are appearances that I think are given to new season ticket holders or prospective season ticket holders to kind of entice them to purchase season tickets, or as a thank you for purchasing season tickets because they are on the decline. Chanot's done it. Tinnerholm did it the night that we interviewed him for the All-Star game. He had to go upstairs and he sat at the same exact table signing the autographs for a whole bunch of people. I personally know someone who was at one of those events because he just bought season tickets this year. So it's a team sanctioned event, and it is what it is. This I think it's every team has its fans where they have this irrational hate towards certain players. Like you have that hate towards Burgett because he had a bad stretch in the beginning.
Oh, bad season. Stretch of games. I was going to say bad socks.
Not you, jackass. I'm talking about you. You'll get people who will hate on Jonathan Lewis because they think there's something wrong. There probably isn't anything wrong. It's just the fact that the coach has a certain philosophy, and this kid just can't get in because the coach doesn't want to put him in right now.
Coach doesn't want to win.
The kid's been absolutely nothing but class. Every time I've spoken to him, I've never had a problem with him ever over the last 2 seasons. He's been the nicest guy. I mean, he's still a kid, for Christ's sakes. So you would expect a little bit of outlash, and you get nothing. He answers every question as a professional. Just stop trying to dig crap up. And just why do people feel need to hate players for 1 or 2 instances where they dealt with them? Like, oh, he didn't sign an autograph for me. The guy's a douche. Like, no. Like, put everything in perspective and stand back. Burgett's been a hell of a player for this team when he's been on the field, minus a stretch of a couple games where he just couldn't get it going. And people hate him for it. People still can't stand him. I'm like, are you serious? You just need to hate something because you're going along with people around you. I don't know what it is. But like me, my genuine hate is for Rodney Wallace because he cannot score. He does nothing. He has been useless for a whole year, not even a season, an entire 365 days worth of soccer. He has done nothing. More than 365 days. That's different. It's warranted of some level, and even then, it's probably not as warranted. Just give players a break. Give them a break, because you know what? You'll ride them when they're high and you'll beat them when they're low. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
People just have to have something to bitch about. It's the New York thing to do, and it drives me nuts.
Wow.
Sorry. I read on Twitter. I read the
I know. This is
and people don't even read. No, people don't even back up their arguments with facts. You clearly put last night in the tweet that the rep, he asked the rep if he should put on the suit or not. The rep said no. I backed you up in saying that it's a season ticket holder event that's separate from a send-off that's meant for certain people. And people still commented a day later saying that he wasn't wearing the suit.
But who cares?
Just read.
Who cares?
Read.
Who cares? We've spent way more than enough time talking about the damn suits. I feel like this is a Seinfeld episode now.
By the way, I kind of want one of those suits.
Yeah, they are pretty sweet, but
I don't know if they have enough fabric. They might need two and have to sew them together in the back somewhere for me. But I wish they wouldn't advertise these memberships these partnerships that don't benefit us in any way, shape, or form. Like, unless you're giving me a discounted line of NYCFC formal wear, I don't give a rat's ass what these guys are wearing. You can wear their friggin' pajamas to the field.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, this has been some good stoppage time there, Lalo. Thanks for bringing that up. Guys, listen, that's been episode 123. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube or you're listening to us on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Your feedback is really important to us, as always. Facebook or iTunes. If you guys could leave us a review, it would mean the world to us. Let us know how you like the show. Special thanks to Wayne Rooney, number one, because was able to get some minutes with him, to Sebastian Ibeagha, and to James Sands, who I will post that video at some point very, very soon, and to David Villa for actually finding a way to score a goal after a few matches. So, dude, we'll be right back here Monday night, 8 o'clock for episode 124. And if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, tweet to us, send us a message on Facebook, send us a DM on Instagram, follow the stuff, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Dudes in Blue. Really easy to get a hold of us. But we will definitely be back next Monday and Tuesday with the podcast. But until then, dude, stay blue.